onboarding process takes forever. So for your demos, right, or for your software, they're going to have their onboarding process. Depending on which software that you pick, okay, and I've only used storage, so I don't know all the onboarding processes of any of them, but they're going to have this onboarding process, and the onboarding process takes forever. So like you do not want to wait until 2 weeks before you close on your property to pick a software, because what's going to happen is on day one of closing, it's not going to be able to be working. So you want to get that software picked early in the game when you know for sure that you're going to close on that. You're going to say, look, I've already been doing demos. I'm going to pick this software. And then what they're going to do is they're going to have whatever process it is, they're going to have a way for you to give them all the information that they need in order to onboard their property. Now, you may, like, when you get your facility under contract, you want to ask the owner and you say, look, I need to get a list of the names of the tenants. I need their name and I need their name and their phone number and their email address. If I can get that beforehand, then I can fill out the spreadsheet that's needed, fill out the forms that are needed, get that to my software to get it onboarded so that they will have that ready in the system so that I can work on getting the contracts and stuff signed. Some owners will give that to you early. Some owners will not give that to you early. So then you may be stuck on the onboarding process just because you can't get the information you need from the owners. It really just depends on the owners. We've had it where day one, we'll give you the information after closing. And we've had it like where they just hand it over 60 days beforehand. They're like, look, here's all the information. Do what you need. So that's something that you want to make sure. You want to know what your onboarding process is for the software that you choose. And you want to make sure that you ask them, how long does the onboarding process take? Because, I need to make sure that I'm ready and I can go through all this process. And so for storage, it could take somewhere upwards of 4 to 6 weeks for the onboarding process. I don't know really the other ones, but it's typically going to take around a month or so. So give yourself some time to onboard your software. Okay. And then once you onboard the software, right, you're going to have the tenant information. You're going to have the payment information and the contract ready. This is where you're going to be calling. This is really stage 3. But you're not going to have any of that. So your job is to, get a hold of the tenant, get them to get into the account, put their payment information in, or you're going to have to call and get them to give the payment information. Okay. That's kind of what you're going to need in order to be ready. And, for day one, this is basically what you're doing in week 1 of your ownership of your facility, or the first couple of weeks. Okay. And then number 6 is insurance. There's 2 different types of insurances. There's like the property insurance. There's there's the tenant, and then there's title. Title insurance is where your attorney or your title company is going to provide this for you. And this protects your property, protects any issues that for your property, protects your lender, protects your banks. So that you don't have any say in this. You just basically take the property insurance of whatever your attorney or title company says. You can maybe choose the company, but a lot of times I don't even ask. You just get this. So I'm not going to really speak a lot on this. The property insurance, you're going to have to get quotes on property insurance for fire and hurricanes and floods or whatever it is. Okay. And this takes forever to get. There is no insurance company that can give you a quote for a property in a couple of days. It takes a week or 2 or 3 weeks sometimes to get a quote for insurance on a property. So make sure you give yourself time so that when you close, and a lot of times if you have a bank, they're going to require you to have property insurance ready to go beforehand. And so, you want to give yourself some time to talk to a whole bunch of different insurance agents and get a couple of different quotes where you can compare apples to apples and then choose the right insurance for you. Okay. And then also tenant insurance is where, if something happens to the contents inside the unit, then the tenant is covered. And this is like a whole bunch of different types of insurances out there. So you want to talk to all the different types of companies out there. And there's like storage protectors, and there's Bader, and there's Store Smart, and there's all kinds of different companies out there. And so you're going to talk to each one of those as well. And you're going to ask them to explain how it works. And then, you also get a cut in the tenant insurance. You can maybe make some money on this. Just like, oh, how much you're going to pay me if I sell this tenant insurance? This is another way to make income, but it's not a lot of income, but it's just a little bit of income. And then, but also to talk to all the different companies and hear them out, get the quotes back, look at everything. It just takes a lot of time and effort. It just does. So give yourself some time for property insurance and tenant insurance. Don't wait till the last minute for this, and then start getting your quotes immediately.
Hey everybody, this is Stacy here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am here to teach you how to get your foot into this industry. You're watching this video because you want to learn how to get started in self-storage investing, or maybe you own facilities and you want to be a better manager, a better owner. That is what I do, is I teach people how to do that. So please like this video and also subscribe, hit the subscribe button, because that's what YouTube wants. So in order for me to get out the word on how to get started in this industry, I really need your help. Again, I appreciate you listening to me, and I'm here to help you on this journey, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.